What is up, Festival Tales fams? It's your boys Babs. We're back. We're back for another Festival Tales podcast. If you're watching, I am draped out in some bizarre clothing because I'm just trying to have somebody that's gonna match my freak. What can I say? What can I say? Um,
The Wook kind of the Wook variety.
of the work variety. Without further ado, folks, we got another great Festival Tales episode. Funny story, great story for you that Bella's going to read. But before we get into that, as you know, some housekeeping things, folks. If you can, subscribe to the podcast if you're watching on YouTube. That helps us out tremendously. Give it a like as well. Help the algorithm. If you're listening, guys, write a review on whatever podcast app you are listening to on. We greatly appreciate that. Make sure to follow us on all socials. And we do have a Patreon that should be up here shortly. Some exciting things, guys. The podcast, we're going to be doing these in person here pretty soon. So we're excited. We're going to be pumping out ones for sure every week because of that. And then we'll also have some bonus episodes with Patreon, which we're excited about. We'll have more info on that coming up soon. So without further ado, the amazing, the beautiful co-host Bella is up right now, and she's got a great story for you. Here we go.
I have an electric forest story because
Ooh,
that recently happened.
yes, it did. I like that. I like that. I like that. Here we go. Sorry.
Yes. All right. So it's Electric Forest 2018, and it was during string cheese incident. I'm sitting and enjoying cheese before I go to see G Jones back-to-back Ep.85. Is that how you pronounce it?
I've heard EPROM, but either way.
Don't come for me, please, for mispronouncing that. Forest gives you a little bag with your wristbands that I usually use to keep all my party favors in one place. I'm enjoying the set and sharing with a person I met, and I put the bag down. Now, to remind you, it was all my goodies for the weekend. First mistake is keeping it all with me and not leaving it at camp. So it's about 10 minutes before the set started. So I get up and start walking there normally. I do check all my belongings before I get too far, but in excitement, I walked there and patted my pockets to find out the bag wasn't in my pocket that I kept it in. My heart dropped and I began to panic and searched all of my pockets and my backpack. So can't find it. I guess so can't find it. So with a flashlight, I go looking around where I was sitting for cheese. In that time, I spent like 15 minutes trying to find it with no luck, and I was going to just give up and move on. I find a phone on the ground. I ask people sitting around me if it was theirs, and they say no. So I say, fine, I'll take it to Lost and Found after the back to back. I'm walking back to the stage and it rings. I pick it up and it's the owner's friend trying to find the phone. I met up with them and gave them the phone back. Happy as can be, they ask how I was doing. I tell them the story of losing my goodies and how I was looking for them. They tell me, good luck with your search, and disappear into the crowd. After that, I said, why not look one more time? And wouldn't you know, the bag was right behind this couple that had no idea it was there. With the biggest surprise on my face and them terrified, I grabbed the bag and freaked out with happiness. That shows that the universe has very interesting ways of rewarding you without you knowing it. After that, I learned not to keep all your eggs in one basket.
Words to live by there. Don't keep your eggs in one basket. In some things.
Yeah, I guess that's the moral of the story.
And also do the right thing. Be kind to people.
So just do the right thing. But yeah, I think this, it's like
I heard the whole story, but that stuck with me about.
I think that's like a wonderful takeaway from having that happen.
No, I literally butchered the entire story of how nice. That's a great story, and I took away the one thing about not keeping your eggs in one basket. But no, on the real, it is so important to do what that person did and do the right thing, turn in the phone, and just be a good person. Not even just at festivals, just in general. If that happens, it's the right thing to do. And on a side note of that, it's always fun to have that person's phone and take a video of yourself and like leave some funny memories of like your journey with this phone until you take it to Lost and Found.
Yeah. No, please, if anyone ever finds my phone, which I don't anticipate losing it because I use a phone tether that I love. I actually have multiple ones because I did get my phone stolen once. But if anyone ever finds my phone, please take as many videos as you can on it. I got the 2 terabytes of storage for iCloud for a reason.
Gang, gang.
Please, absolutely crazy with that.
You can record an hour.
Well, don't record an hour because then I would feel really bad deleting it, but I wouldn't want an hour of footage on my phone. But yes, please just record yourself if you ever find my phone, please. Because
there's 2 stories. One, I lost my GoPro at Halloween last year, and someone grabbed it and like recorded themselves on the GoPro, and I tried to put it in the vlog too. And then second, at Lost Lands 2 years ago, I found a girl's phone, and it was like sunset, beautiful time. I was up on the hill, and I took a video, and I was like, "Hey, I found your phone. I'm taking it to Lost and Found, and here's the sunset from the top of the hill. Check it out." And I flip it around, and I do like a panorama. And I ended up getting it to her friend who called, same type of deal. And then like out of the blue, a week after Lost Lands, she like posted the video on her TikTok. And it, like, I don't know, it got like 40,000 views, but it was like me being like, "I got your phone, check this sunset out."
yeah, I feel like that'll always do well on TikTok. And like it is nice going from the state of panic of thinking that your phone is stolen to having it returned and there's like cool videos on it. Like that happened to one of my friends where she lost her phone and she was freaking out and someone returned it to her after this show and they recorded some like I forget what artist it was. It might have been like Zed's dad, but they're like, "Oh, we have your phone, like we're gonna take some videos on it." And they recorded some of like the best videos and like the best drops from the show. And she's like, "I didn't even have to do this." Like someone else did it for me. So it's like going from like thinking it's gone forever and you have to just like go get a new phone to having that on your phone. It's just like it's just, yeah, I can imagine it's the best feeling. I've only ever been pickpocketed, unfortunately, so I wouldn't know, but
Yeah, I've had both. I know, it's funny is I never thought about it till you just said it on how it felt getting that phone back. Same festival, Lost Lands. This was 2019. We were like sitting on one of the fences or something, and I just put it down next to me and started talking to everybody. Then it was like, "Hey, we got to go to this set," and I was like, "Oh yeah." And I walked like 5 minutes before I was like, "Oh no." And I remember like running back, like, "I hope it's there, I hope it's there, I hope it's there." And sure enough, it was right there on the ground. I don't know how no one didn't take it, but I remember being like, "Oh my God." It was just like this relief of like non-anxiety. But the opposite happens, and I've been in your boat too, where I get my phone stolen. There's just no way getting out of that headspace. Like you lose that phone and you're just absolutely just taken out of it. Like it's just so hard to get back into like having a good time, and or at least that day, like usually day 2 you can figure it out, but like right then for that day you're like, just, "I can't believe I lost my phone. I can't believe I did this."
yeah, no, it's rough. It's definitely, yeah,
You
too very.
try, and then like I've been there where like someone in my group loses their phone and you're trying to cheer them up, and again, like there's only, you can do everything in the book to try to get them to cheer up, and they're just like, "Thank you." They're like, "Thanks. I appreciate it. I'm just so tired. I might
Yeah,
just miss my
it,
phone."
it also just depends on the person too. Everyone reacts to that situation different, and every reaction is valid and fair. Like whether you're crying and freaking out about it and you just want to leave the festival early because whatever, or if you're totally cool with it, you're like, "Oh, I'll get another one." Everything, like those 2 reactions and everything in between are completely valid because unfortunately our phones have in many ways become our lifeline and also a cloud for our memories. um, and also our source of income for a lot of us. Like, I mean, a lot of people have their work email on their phone and stuff. So it's, and everyone is different. Everyone uses it for different reasons, but I think we can all relate to the fact that it is a very big player in our lives. And it just depends on the person. Like sometimes the person will be okay with it and sometimes they won't. And like either way is fine, but it does suck when, you're trying to cheer up a friend and they do have a more adverse reaction to the situation. Because, it just feels like you just want to do more for them and you can't.
Yeah. You want to cheer them up. You want to make them have a great night. And they're either stuck in it or they're not. And, either way, but still, I remember when mine got stolen, I was in like a full on panic until I got home because I like a dumbass literally did not have a lock on my phone at one point. For like the longest time, I never had a passcode, nothing on my phone. And my phone got stolen and they turned it off and all that stuff. And I remember being like, they could have access to my entire life. Like they could just, and to this day, I don't know how they didn't go in my phone when it was unlocked. Like they just never, they could have gone to my notes app. They could have had passwords to like everything, my bank, like it's just anything you could think of. I probably had that saved on that phone and they could have just destroyed my life. And instead they turned it off and sold it for parts. But I got so lucky. But I remember panicking and like right when I get home, after the festival, I had a few drinks, I'm like lit and I'm like getting home from the Uber and I'm like going straight to the computer. I'm like typing away, changing my Google, changing everything. All the passwords are changing like at 1 a.m. in the morning. Like the bank probably thought I was like a manic person at the time, like typing away, like trying to get new password, set my
You
new
probably
PIN.
thought you
Like
were the hacker, like you were the guy that stole the phone.
literally.
No, you did get very lucky with that. I have this setting on my phone where you and everyone that goes to festival should have this setting on their phone at all times. In order to turn my phone on airplane mode, you have to unlock it. So you can't just, which a lot of phones, the default setting is if you can just like swipe down in the corner of like the iPhone and you can just put it on airplane mode. And when you put on airplane mode, the location goes off. The service goes off, everything goes off. So your phone is basically done at that point. On my phone, you have to actually unlock it with either my password or my face in order to turn it on airplane mode. And you can turn the phone off, but find my iPhone is still on. So that if you go to a festival, definitely do that to your phone because you can still track it.
Yeah, that was a game changer when Apple did that. I don't know when that happened, but big game changer. I always forget that exists, so that's a great note for people. So get yourself, in order to help prevent theft, don't put your phone in your pockets. Put it on a tether if you can. Put it in a fanny pack. I'm a big fan of the fanny pack. I've talked about it numerous times. Big advocate of the fanny pack. I love it. I put my phone in there all the time. Never have to worry about it because it's right on my waist, right in front of me. And then other than that, the airplane mode feature you just mentioned, 3 things you can do to prevent or mitigate your risk of losing your phone or getting it stolen.
Yeah, no, definitely take every precaution you can to ensure that even if it does get stolen, which God forbid it does, that they can't do what they want with it. So
Yeah, totally agree. One of the worst things I've ever felt, I felt so bad about this. This is just a funny story where I like left my group to go, I can't remember why, maybe go get food or something. And then I went to call my buddy to like, and this was at Ultra. And I went to call him to like come meet them in the crowd, like, hey, where are you guys? Blah, blah. And he's like not answering. And he was answering me all night. And I'm like, damn, what the heck's going on? Like, it's just like turn it. And this whole time I'm like, he either's like ignoring me now or he turned his phone off. And then I see them like 20 minutes later finally, and he's like, my phone got stolen. I felt so bad because it never even like went into my head. I was just like, can't believe he's not answering me. What the heck's going on? And then he's like, yeah, man, my phone got stolen. I'm so sorry if you were calling. And I was like, oh, it killed me. I was like, no.
oh, that's rough. Yeah, I mean, it's not something you would assume, especially when there's no service at these things. You're like, oh, he's ignoring me, or I can't hear it, or there's no service. It's not, oh, maybe he doesn't have a phone anymore. So that's fair. That's a fair assumption,
But
honestly.
I felt so bad when I ran into them, and he was like, my phone got stolen. Like, because the whole time I'm like,
You're
I'm
like,
worked up. I'm
dude,
like, dude,
I
why did
hate
you not? Yeah, bro, why are you not answering me? And he's like, I don't have my phone. It's gone.
actually possess a cell phone anymore. My
Yeah,
bad.
I have to pay $800 to get it replaced. Thanks.
Thanks, bro. Like,
um, but anything else? Any other tips you can think of or anything?
not really. I like the just going back to the story, I really like the takeaway from this because it's yeah, I mean the guy in the story was freaking out about his goodies, which but like I think we can all kind of learn from this in a weird way. Not saying that we endorse that or anything, but just saying that his takeaway from it was actually really cool because he basically performed an act of kindness, and he didn't have to return the phone. I mean, also, if you're not a phone thief, there's only so much you can do with a phone, so it is the right thing to do is to return it. But it's like karma. It's interesting that that was his takeaway, because I think that that's kind of what Plur is all about, is if you treat other people the way you want to be treated and you just perform acts of kindness and do the right thing, the universe will reward you, or people will reward you. And I just think that that's a cool takeaway from a story that could otherwise just be seen as, he didn't have to look, or he or she did not have to look at it that way, but they did. And I think that that's kind of what makes ravers and festival goers different, is that stuff like this happens, and the lesson that they learn from it is, oh, if I am a good person, good things happen to me. You know what I mean? It's like they have like this profound lesson that they take away from situations that are just kind of like could otherwise be seen as funny coincidences. So I just wanted to note that as well, because that is exactly what he should have taken, or he or she should have taken away from that.
No, 100%. I mean, in building off of that, I think in just about everything in life that we do is that energy you put out comes back to you. And whether it's instant or over time, you don't know. But in this case, it was more instant. But hey, do the right thing, put out that good energy. The universe is a spitting image of what you put out, brings it right back to you. So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, on that very wise note between the two of us, that's all we got for this week's episode. And we hope that you match our freak. Somebody gonna match my freak. That is not how the song is at all, but what were you saying?
Are you going to a festival this weekend?
What?
Are you going to a festival this weekend? Are you getting ready?
I'm getting ready. I'm getting rowdy.
That's what I thought, with the sunglasses, shades, and the pashmina.
I like the new look. I think I might do sunglasses every podcast.
I think that that's kind of the vibe.
I'll do different ones every time, maybe.
I've done sunglasses with the podcast, so
you kind of inspired this today. I saw these pairs of sunglasses, these ones and these ones sitting on the desk right here, and I was like, I should do it. She did it one episode. I should do it.
Yeah. The American ones.
Yeah, it is almost 4th of July. So
it's definitely close to that.
Were reputable.
Yeah, super American.
But without further ado, folks, that's all we got for this week. Same thing as before. Like, subscribe, follow the podcast, give us a review. We greatly appreciate it. Give us a follow if you can on any socials. And last but not least, I did forget to say this at the beginning, send in your stories. We need some more stories. We want to read some more of your fun and amazing stories. So send them in. We greatly appreciate it. Without further ado, bye, everybody. Peace.